And welcome back. Well, now that we've tested that all our elements work, what we're now going to do is pop back into our schematic view. Here we go. And we're going to disconnect our elements from our point connections. So let's start with the fuselage. Select fuselage and we'll go unlink. Aileron port, unlink. Very quickly, pop it along there. And for these we can just come select those and go unlink, and hopefully that's the lot completed there. Okay, starting now with our fuselage, we're going to link the fuselage to our control curve Messerschmitt. So link fuselage, linking that there. Now we can link our fuselage elements to the point connection. Fuselage, bring that across, linking that there. And now we can link our cockpit section or the cockpit hood to the fuselage elements there. And that should have come in down here. Now we can link the elements to our connection. So up we go. Canopy hood, as we've called it. Let's pop down over here, down a bit, and there we go. Those are now linked up there. Just want to check that everything's looking fine, that nothing has been realigned. That's okay. So let's now pop up again. We have our elevator now, which we can link to the fuselage. So point connection elevator over to our fuselage. That should now be down here. So now we want our element, the elevator, drag that, come down, and there we are, point connection elevator. So as we can see now, we're building up our connections and our elements in relation to their link with the fuselage. Does anything else need to be connected with the fuselage there? No. No. So now we're looking at the wing, the front wing, and we can see that the front wing is connected to our fuselage. So let's start with the undercarriage, and that's the port. So we take that, we want to connect it to the front wing. Now we could of course connect all these to the front wing and then link the various elements to it, but by doing it this way you can see precisely what it is that we're doing. So now we can take the elements here for the undercarriage on the left side, or the port side. Undercarriage, there we go. That's linked to there. Pop back up. We have the undercarriage here on the left, the right side, which is the starboard. Well, let's just ignore that one for a moment. Did I make that connection? No, we didn't. So here we go, starboard to the front wing. There it is. So now we can take our undercarriage elements, bring them in and connect them. We're leaving our prop, so we've got our aileron, point connection there, port. That also comes down to the front wing, aileron port. We'll grab that, come down, there we go, there's our point connection, aileron port. Point connection, aileron starboard, down to front wing, aileron starboard there, and there we go, there it is. Flap to front wing, and what's that one, starboard, so that's flap port. We go down, there we go, there it is, link that, finally flap starboard to front wing, and then the element connected to the connection. Now I will be candid, by doing it this way we have actually avoided some issues which would have occurred, issues which quite frankly need a lot more in-depth explanation than we have time for here at the moment. Perhaps I will do a tutorial on it, but it relates to the fact that some of our point connections have been altered as far as their elevation etc. is concerned. Now if we pop into our control curve here and we check out everything, we'll see that everything works fine, everything works as it should do. There we go, rudder's moving correctly, the flap on the port side is moving correctly, the lot. But let me show you something. I'm going to go back up and I'm going to go down to the port aileron. That's starboard, that's port. I'm going to select it and I'm going to unlink that connection. Now I've unlinked that connection straight away. Let's have a look on here, and you can see that our actual piece of geometry for the aileron has changed. So let's undo that action. Now it's come back. Now if I were to select the aileron and now unlink it and then go to the connection and unlink it, you'll see that the connection has actually jumped back to its original position. So had we, if we bring this over here, had we connected the point connection to our wing with the aileron connected to that, as I'm going to show you now, let's go link, I'm going to link that to that, and now let's link the aileron connection to the front wing. There you go, it throws it out. So that's why we did it the way we did do. Let me go undo for that one. That should have brought it back up to the top. Let's select that, go unlink, and now we'll link the point connection to the front wing. It's altered our connection, but now if we go and select the aileron, the piece of geometry, we're saying okay, that has the correct attributes and the correct settings, even though it is changed in its direction. But what I want you to do is link at that point. So if we select that and we go down, looking for the wing section, there it is, and now we're linking there. So it's remained in that position. Let's close this down for a moment, and if we now select our control curve, we're looking for the port aileron. As we can see, it's still set in 0 and it still works. So by doing it the way we did do, we bypassed these minor issues. Well, when I say minor issues, they are to some extent, but they do require a lot more in-depth explanation. Well, in the next session we're going to be applying some expressions to the nose cone and the propeller, which will allow us to vary its speed of rotation. I think we may also apply an expression that will allow us to have the model appear to be sort of in a flight mode. If you're ever in an aeroplane which is following another aeroplane, you can see it's not going along at or in the same position. It seems to go up and down and to the side a little bit. So we might try and implement an expression that allows us to do that. Okay, well, we'll call that it for this session, and I'll catch you later.